Welcome back to another non-episode of the Six Figure Home Studio, an in-between-isode, if you will. I am your host, Brian Hood. I'm here with my bald, beautiful, amazing co-host, Christopher J. Graham, and we are here to talk about Winter NAMM 2020. Chris, first of all, are you excited for NAMM?
Brian, I'm so excited that I don't know how, wow, I'm so excited. I'm speechless.
So for those who don't know, Chris and I are doing this episode because we want to formulate some sort of meetup for Winter NAMM 2020. So if you are coming to NAMM this year, or going to be in the Anaheim area around the next 4 days, as the episode, this episode comes out.
Or if you live in Los Angeles,
then this episode is relevant to you. If you're not going to be there or you're not coming to NAMM this year, you can turn this episode off unless you just like to hear us talk about the thing that you will be missing out on. I'm sure if you were in the audio industry, you have severe FOMO or fear of missing out on this event. So you probably tried your best to come and you couldn't. But for those who can come this year, this little in-between episode is just a quick thing Chris and I wanted to put together so we can make sure everyone's on the same page about Winter NAMM and any meetups we might do. So first of all, Chris, tell them about our new Facebook group.
Yeah, so we're going to have a Facebook group that's specifically for NAMM so that we're not bothering the non-NAMM people with posts and whatnot. But kind of Brian and I's hope is that while we're hanging out on the floor, that we can do a bunch of hangouts, do a bunch of meetups. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of gear at NAMM.
Well, before you start talking about gear and get a bunch of gear slide alerts, I'm going to talk about our sponsor today, Pamplemousse LaCroix.
Pamplemousse LaCroix. I don't have mine right now.
It's so good.
I need to buy a lot of it.
Continue on with the NAMM thing.
Anyways, yeah, so there's a ton of gear there. It's super interesting. It's very noisy. There are certain parts of NAMM that are hellish.
Yes.
For example,
the drum area.
The drum area in general, you're going to want to avoid.
We go there one time. It's kind of like a rite of passage of NAMM. Every year, it's kind of like the gauntlet we run through and try to make it through as quickly as possible. Just to say we did it and just to really prove our manhood to each other. So Chris and I can respect each other every year. But we will not go through that more than one time. It's similar to the basement area where all the like outcast knockoff Chinese brands are set up to do shop with their bootleg.
They're actually not Chinese. So in the basement underneath the Anaheim Convention Center, there's a bunch of basically knockoff companies that are making imitation audio products. Most of them aren't actually made in China. They're made in Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Good pun there, buddy. Really ham-fisted that one. By the way, our Facebook community, since Chris didn't do a link to it.
Oh, yeah.
The sixfigurehomestudio.com/NAMM. That's NAM as in microphone, M as in microphone, NAMM, National Association for Music Merchandising. So go to the sixfigurehomestudio.com/NAMM to join our Facebook community. And that's where Chris and I will keep people up to date with any meetups we do, any events we're attending, anything that has to do with the Six Figure Home Studio community as it pertains to NAMM, because we don't want to do like we did last time, which was just fly by the seat of our pants the entire time with absolutely no sort of organization as a whole. Yeah. Chris and I just kind of wandered around and it was amazing. And
it was.
I'm okay with doing that the same way, as long as we have this Facebook group to kind of communicate things hour by hour or day by day. So when you join the community, by the way, make sure you have the notification set to instantly alert you to every single post, because you do not want to miss out on anything. And if you just have like the top posts, you may miss out something that Chris and I post that may be very time sensitive.
We will not abuse that privilege either.
No, we won't. We
promise. But yeah, so NAMM, let me talk about NAMM a little bit. So NAMM is interesting. My first experience with NAMM was when we met. We went to Summer NAMM, which is way smaller than Winter NAMM.
Yeah, just to give people an idea of the scale, the Summer NAMM here in Nashville, just the entire NAMM, like the entire space, is about half the size of just the pro audio section of Winter NAMM.
Yeah.
And then the pro audio section of Winter NAMM is about a fifth of the size or smaller of the rest of NAMM. So it is
something like
absolutely massive, 10x or more what you see in Nashville. So it's just impressive.
So you walk into the pro audio section, which is where we generally like to spend most of our time, though I want to spend a lot of time trying out cool guitars and stuff like that. I'm very excited to do that. But yeah, so NAMM, there's all these manufacturers that show up, all these software companies, and they present new products that they're working on and you know, their go-to standard products from years past. And it's interesting because you get to see basically every tool that you could possibly want to buy for your studio in one room.
Yep.
And while you're doing it, every time you turn around, you see like a celebrity from our space.
Yep.
You know, you're like, you turn around, you're like, oh my gosh, it's Graham Cochran. Oh my gosh, it's Warren Hewart. Oh my gosh, it's one of that guy with the Grammy.
It's Chris Graham. Oh my God.
Oh.
In his purple shirt. Actually, I'll be the one in purple shirt this year. What shirt are you wearing this year?
I'll be purple shirts every day, man.
Okay. You'll see the pair of us in purple shirts, or I'll have a purple hoodie on because I made a File Pass shirt and a File Pass hoodie just for this event. And it's amazing because it just says, it has the File Pass logo on the front. It says file sharing for recording studios. On the back, it says death to Dropbox, Google Drive, and WeTransfer on the back. So I'm very proud of that.
I'll be dressed up as the Bounce Butler. I've got a full purple tuxedo. I'm just kidding. That would be dope.
Later on, like you need to get one of those like high school mascot or college mascot like Bounce Butler outfits, and you just pay some poor kid to run around NAMM in the Bounce Butler outfit like a Disney character.
I'd be like, your mission is to get kicked out before Saturday night.
Yes.
So.
And to crash every single party.
But yeah, it's a ton of fun. So it's like what makes NAMM great is the community.
I was going to say, I've never seen that many people, tens of thousands of people probably. I don't actually know the numbers behind it.
It's like, I think it's like 150,000 people.
It's more people than I can count, but I can't count past like 100, I think is the highest number I know how to count to. And, but I've never seen that many people getting together in one place and have absolutely no hostility. Everyone is so nice and friendly to each other. Like the vibe there is a hippie's dream.
It is indeed. But speaking of hippie dreams, they do have a giant drum circle.
That's true.
Like, so there was like 100 people with djembes playing in a drum circle. And I wanted to participate last year, but I didn't. Let me do a PSA, a public service
real quick,
announcement.
Are you gonna join us with for goat yoga this year or no?
Is that a thing?
You didn't do it with us last year. I thought you might want to do it this year.
You're messing with me right now, right? Because I will 1,000% go to goat yoga at NAMM.
No, there's no goat yoga. If there is, we'll go to it though.
Okay, so goat yoga is you do yoga, but like goats are around and they like climb on you while you're doing yoga. It's a real thing, folks.
It's actual thing. I've seen it here in Nashville, and it is so dumb. But continue on your PSA.
I'm kind of terrified of goats. Like they've got like eyes like snakes.
Yeah, especially if one
sorta
sharts on your back as it's climbing you,
or starts like eating
your hair.
My stretchy pants.
Oh yeah, you don't have hair. Never mind. All right, what's your PSA? Let's wrap up with this PSA.
Here's my PSA. We don't talk about this much on the podcast because I'm terribly embarrassed by it. I am a legit germaphobe.
You are, man. Like you won't open doors. Like you're the least gentlemanly guy I know.
No, I'll open, but I will only do it. Well, I'll do it, but then I'll like have my hand disinfectant, or I'll like extend my sleeve if I have long sleeves on.
I'm like the guy. I'm the guy. Like I will just lick my hand after opening a door just to make sure my immune system is strong and powerful.
Do that.
And I will say this: I have not gotten sick in like a decade or more.
Well, here's the PSA: there is a downside to NAMM, and that is NAMM Thrax.
Oh, I've heard of this thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Who got NAMM last year? Can we name names, or we shouldn't probably name names?
We probably shouldn't, but a lot of people got like a stomachy bug.
Yeah.
And here's this is so stupid.
This is also one of the most, from what I heard from a nurse the other day, one of the most, maybe the most deadly flu season we've ever had as far as deaths from the flu.
So here's the thing. I'm going to be rolling with my hand sanitizer. I will not be sharing it with anybody else. But here's my advice to you guys at NAMM. If you go to NAMM, just don't touch your face. That's it. Don't touch your face.
I'm just going to start sucking my thumb for this event.
Don't you even dare.
I'm going to be the guy in the purple hoodie walking around with a File Pass purple hoodie, sucking my thumb just to spite Chris.
If you start doing that, I'm just going to start going around and trying to get companies to give me free gear. That's okay.
And I'm going to be right behind you, not saying a single word because I'm sucking my thumb, and everyone's going to think you're weird because you got this weird guy following you around sucking his thumb.
But yeah, so here's my PSA. If you get sick at NAMM, it is almost certainly because you touched something gross and then you touched a hole on your face.
Yeah.
So just don't touch any holes on your face and you should be good.
Yeah. All right. I hope to see you at NAMM. Again, that URL for our Facebook community, specifically for NAMM, is thesixfigurehomestudio.com/NAMM. Or you can just search for the Six Figure Home Studio NAMM on Facebook and find our community.
And then if you guys want to message us, the easiest way would be in that group.
I told people just to email us, podcast@thesixfigurehomestudio.com, if you want any sort of formal meetup or meeting. Like if you're a company and you want to meet with us for some reason. I don't know why you would, but that's the email you'd go to, podcast@thesixfigurehomestudio. And
you got free headphones you want to give us.
Yep.
That would be the address to go.
That's the quickest way to Chris's heart. Otherwise, you can message Chris on Facebook or no, Instagram, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Instagram's usually the easiest place. Chris_Graham, Graham. I'll be posting some stories of me irritating you with puns.
Yeah, you can add me on Instagram, Brian Hood. That's Brian H00D. And I will specifically turn on my Instagram notifications just for NAMM. I usually have those turned off, so I never see messages when they come, and I just get to them when I get to them. But since we're at an event where time is of the essence, I'll cut those on as well. But again, honestly, the best way to connect with us is on that Facebook group. So the sixfigurehomestudio.com/NAMM. Anything else to add, Chris, before we sign off here?
Yeah. Well, here's what I would say. My favorite thing in the world is making new friends. I'm serious. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And if you're listening to this and you're going to be at NAMM, we would like to meet you. So holler at your boys. Whoa.